The Kansas City Chiefs are 2 losses in a row, 2 straight losses now this year. 41-38 losers. Ben correctly predicted that one as well. I'm going to say this in the most white boy way possible. The game-winning touchdown was to Seyi Ajirotutu, a special teamer for the most part, an undrafted guy. I feel good for him. I'm sorry?
I think it's Ajirotutu.
Ajirotutu?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah.
You sure?
Yeah.
Okay.
He's the nephew of Desmond Tutu,
oh yeah,
the Archbishop.
Good to know. Kansas City. So they've lost 2 straight games, guys. I mean, they certainly are not going to win more with Tamba Hali and Justin Houston, who account for 20 sacks on defense. They both got injured in the second quarter. But I mean, are we pretty much learning what we thought we knew about the Chiefs?
Well,
when you lose your 2 pass rushers halfway through the game, everyone's talking about how great Rivers was. Well, I mean, there's a reason I think he was so great.
Yeah, hey, look, man, injuries happen. The Chiefs haven't had any injuries. They're good, not great.
To paraphrase Dennis Green, they are who we thought they were.
Right.
Who'd you think they were?
Who did you think they were?
We thought they're a good team that beat up on a lot of crappy teams, and when they play the better teams, they're going to have their hands full, which is what happened the last 2 weeks.
If we can we pull up the Chiefs' schedule?
Yeah, remember they got 2 17-16 home wins on their schedule. They beat the Bills in Buffalo 23-13 on 2.
Which you thought was going to be a tougher game than
It was a tougher game. They got manhandled in that game. They gave up 2 defensive scores. You know, they barely beat Cleveland at home. You know, I know we're about to pull up their schedule. They got 5 games left. They got Denver at home. They're on the road for Washington and Oakland. You know, I think they'll beat Washington and Washington. But look, man, it's a road game in the NFL.
We don't even know what's going to happen tonight with Washington.
Yeah, but all of a sudden playing in Oakland, it turns out Oakland's not bad. And they could easily lose that game. Then they have the Colts, and then they're at San Diego. This team, they were 9-0. It would not in any way surprise me if they went 11-5. It wouldn't totally surprise me if they went 10-6, but I bet they finish 11-5. And then they'll have a playoff game. There'll be a wild card because Denver will win the division. There'll be a wild card. They'll play on the road and they'll lose.
You think Denver's going to beat them next week?
Yeah, I do. Yeah.
In Arrowhead?
I tell you this. As I think Steve's going to agree with me now. Depends a little on the weather. If it's really windy, maybe not all of a sudden. But you know, if we get a nice 35-degree clear winter day in Kansas City, then yeah, I think Denver. I think although the Chiefs put up some points, so you know, I think Denver will win. I think it'll be. I can't wait to see the game. I'm very interested in that game, and I'm interested to see how the Chiefs respond to this kind of adversity. But if those guys are out, if they can't put any pressure on Manning, and there's not a ton of wind or elements, then I'll take Manning over Alex Smith. I just
all
will.
of a sudden, that Chiefs defense is allowing points.
Yeah,
that's
right.
So.
The Chiefs are an above-average team.
Yep.
They're not an elite team, and they lost some key players on defense. So we'll see how they do. They had a very good defense that beat the crap out of a whole bunch of second-string quarterbacks. They played Case Keenum in his first NFL start at home.
They won by a point.
They won by a point. They played against the 7th-string quarterback in Buffalo and got a couple of defensive touchdowns and barely won that game. So they're not an elite team, and they're being exposed. And we'll see, you know, what Andy Reid and the crew can do to shore up their situation.
Who are the elite teams? You keep saying elite. Who are the elite teams as of right now?
Well, in the AFC, I don't know that there's anyone that's elite.
Broncos and Pats.
Yeah, I guess Broncos and Pats.
Last night. I think that's it, though, in there, because obviously
That's it in the AFC.
I think we could have thought that the Colts were there, but they're clearly not. No team. They've been down more than 3 touchdowns, 4 straight games.
Yeah.
That's a team that can't wait to lose a playoff game. Yeah. You know, they're going to win that division. But in fact, now that I think about it, since you might get a playoff matchup of the Colts and Chiefs, which in Indy, which would be a terribly interesting game.
Terribly interesting.
Yeah, I'd like to see that. That's a great little first-round game.
Alex Smith, 26-38, 294 yards, 3 touchdowns, 1 interception. No, that interception did lead to a touchdown. Just his 5th interception of the year. And you know who else is kind of looking like Alex Smith, a younger version? I think Ben is going to get this. Mike Glennon.
Oh, God, yeah. He looked good.
Mike Glennon is looking like the modern-day Alex Smith.
Yeah, he has a stronger arm.
A little stronger.
Yeah, that guy throws a spiral.